Welcome to Speak for Yourself. Marcellus Wiley here. Not going to Vegas this weekend. Enjoy. And Emmanuel Acho looks like he's going to Miami right now and going to skip the show. What is going on?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on a Friday, big dog, so I had to bring in the Friday feels.
Golly, that is Hall of Fame worthy. Watch your back, Shannon Sharp. Let's get it started in Seattle, where the Seahawks defense gave up nearly 500 yards last night on their way to a big loss to the Rams. But that was not the only loss. Their superstar, Russell Wilson, was injured in the third quarter and did not return. Pete Carroll said after the game that Russ has a badly sprained finger and they have to assess the severity. Okay. Seattle is currently in last place. I said last place in the NFC West. So Acho, Mr. Vice, Miami himself, are the Seahawks done?
No, they're absolutely not done, Sal. And I'm going to start it off, one, showing off the suit. But more
we're going to ban the big board when you look like that.
No, Sal, you know, whenever it's a fresh day, you got to go straight to the big board.
Damn, you clean,
The Seahawks aren't done. Now, they're not done because you just have to look at things properly and through the right lens. Now, if you look at it through the lens of the NFC West, yeah, you might assume the Seahawks are done. What do I mean by that? Can we look at the lens of the NFC West? The Seahawks are currently in fourth place. Ooh, that's not good. Cardinals, Rams, Niners, all better than the lowly Russell Wilson. But Seahawks fans, fear not. You don't have to compete against the NFC West. You just got to compete against the second best in every other division. So who are the second best teams in every other division? Seahawks have to compete against the Chicago Bears. They're second in the NFC North. The Washington football team, they're second in the NFC East. The Panthers, they're second in the NFC South. Because to make the playoffs, you just got to be better than the second best. Not everybody in the NFC West. So who do the Seahawks really have to be better than? Let's take a look at it. I just need the Seahawks to be better than Taylor Heineke? That's it. Geno Smith. Heineke wasn't a starter either to start the season. Okay, who else do the Seahawks to be better than? Not just Taylor Heineke, Justin Fields? Now, he a rookie, y'all. He also was not a starter to start the season. So, Geno, I know you can be better than him. Who else do the Seahawks need to be better than? Oh, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, too, was a wash-up from the Jets. Sam Darnold won 13 games for the Jets in 38 starts. Geno Smith won 12 games in 30 starts. So, Geno, Seahawks, I know y'all can do that. Let's conclude this whole point. When I look at it, I don't need the Seahawks to be better than the NFC West. I need the Seahawks to be better than the second best. I just need the Seahawks to be better than the Bears, Washington, and the Panthers, and they will still find themselves in the playoffs. So Seahawks fans, fear not. It is not over for y'all. Y'all don't have to be the best in the West. You just got to be better than the second best. Let's go back to the desk.
Come on over here.
Ooh, that was a bar high key.
Hey.
That was a bar high key.
Dog, that was a tight A block lap right there. Like, as clean as that suit right there. Boy, them Seahawks, boy. Talking about flying low. That bar you just set right there, they can call them the skids. Because that is not going to happen right there. All right, so you're assuming they're going to come last in this division, right?
At this point, yes.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they're going to get last in their division. Good. At least we agree there. Okay, here's the thing. Seahawks are done. We're not going to look, as you said, through the right lens. No, that's a loser's eyesight right there. You're looking at it like the Seahawks have a chance. They have no chance in hell, because the only chance they would have was for the Seahawks to get, let's say, warm, start cooking, rust cooking, latter part of the season. What happens to the Seahawks every single year in the latter part of the season? Yeah, they start skidding, right?
Yes,
so we got a problem there. Problem number two, if you look at the Seattle Seahawks in the month of December, 13-10 over the last 5 seasons. So they're not going to help themselves out, let alone look at the second place teams in every division to help them as well. Point number two. Point number three. Well, what defense are they going to stop anyone to stay in any game to even?
That's the best point. You could have started with 3, ended with 3, and had 3 in between.
Okay.
That's the best point.
All right. Well, they say save the best for last, so I did. But here's another thing that's a problem with the Seattle Seahawks. You're 3 back from the Arizona Cardinals. You're 2 back from the Rams, but you just lost a head-to-head. And the 49ers and you, yeah, I understand you may have their number to a degree, but not the way that you guys finish seasons with this defense. They've been 2-3 before. I know why you got amped up to put on the nice suit to go to the big board. Because you're like, oh, I've seen them 2-3 before in 2015 and 2018. But in those years, they were first in scoring. Right now, they're 21st. Those years, they were 11th in scoring. Now they're 21st. Their defense was second. Now they're dead last. Their defense was 16th. Now they're dead last. Not even the same team, just wearing the same uniforms. That's it. That's the only thing that's consistent with this team. In a division that is this gangster, they're going to finish last. And then they're going to look around, and if you want to say the Cowboys are going to run away with the NFC East, hey, I'm with you there. But then Washington, or whoever is going to be that second-place team, is going to get their wins because they only got to play Dallas twice. The rest of the teams out there, if Washington is going to do like they did last year and at least win the division or compete in the division, they're going to win some games in that division. So I just don't see where they're going to make up ground themselves or let another team fall back to where they are.
So let me put this in totality for you, for y'all. We have to think big picture. If you and I, and we'll call it 5 other individuals from this show, or even you, the viewers at home, if we were in the wilderness, so it's me, it's my dog Marcellus Wiley, and it's 5 of y'all watching this. We're in the wilderness, and all of a sudden we hear the roar of a lion. I do not have to be the fastest individual. As long as I ain't the slowest.
You ain't dinner.
I ain't getting got. The Seahawks don't have to be the fastest team in the NFC West.
No, we get that.
They don't even have to be the best team in the NFC. As long as they're not the 8th best team in the NFC, they gonna be all right. And as I look at it, I know Russell Wilson and these Seahawks are not going to be better than the NFC West. They're not going to be better than the Cowboys. Not going to be better than the Bucks. Not going to be better than, obviously, the Rams and company. Not going to be better than the Packers. That's not the issue. That's not the objective. Seahawks fans, change your focus, change your lens, put your contacts in, change your gaze.
LASIK.
You just have to be faster than the slowest. In this case, you have to be faster than the 7th slowest. You just have to be better than the Bears. Is that doable, Marcellus Wiley?
Is it
the
doable?
Seahawks being better than the Bears?
No. I mean, I'm not even trying to be argumentative. No.
You really don't think the Seahawks – did you not see what the Bears
did? They just put in Justin Fields. Don't you love Justin Fields? You don't think he's going to win games?
Exponentially, he will be great.
He has 10 fingers, and they all work. Russell Wilson has 9. That other one, that middle one, I can't do it on TV, can I? But it's this one. It's over here. It's West Side and East Side. It's gangbanging on its own. This middle finger of Russell Wilson. And I love Pete Carroll talking about he's a tremendous healer. I dislocated my finger, and I played D-line. I didn't want to touch anybody, and I knew for survival I had to touch somebody, and I still didn't do it. We get to bridge our fingers. You know how I go. We tape them up. We tape them up. What can you do at quarterback? Play like Russell Wilson did, or get yourself out the game, right? Matthew Stafford had his injury. He played through it because his wasn't a dislocation.
So you have no faith
in Geno Smith?
Pete Carroll plus Geno Smith plus the players they have on that football team.
How many touchdowns
PK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Quandre Diggs, Carlos Dunlap, Jamal Adams.
What you on, our last? We got a roster? No, I don't. You have a roster construction right now? First of all, this team was designed around Russell Wilson. That's why he was the highest paid player just a year ago. Then all of a sudden, you start to realize this team fatigues in the latter parts of every season.
Sure.
So now they needed a roster reconstruction. But instead of that, you know what they did? The same scapegoat that all teams do. Let's get another coordinator. Somebody else could remix the play calling, and we could get something different. They were 5-0 last year. They are 2-3 right now. They fatigued last year at the end of the season with a stronger unit than they are right now. Their defense is dead last. Dog, this is not hot take. They're not better than the Bears. The Bears will have a better record than the Seattle Seahawks. It's just that simple. Where are you getting the ammunition to believe in this team when Russell Wilson has a dislocated middle finger? Middle finger.
I'll tell you where.
Hold the ball. What is this finger doing?
I will tell you where. I will tell you where. I'm getting the ammunition from this reason. Let's not act like Geno Smith did not lead them down a 98-yard touchdown drive on a primetime game with no repetitions during the week, no major repetitions.
Facts.
So I live my life as a backup. You forgot.
Don't call me bougie up here.
Not where you came from. The worst part about Marcellus Wiley, and there's so many great parts, America, so many great parts about him as a father figure, as a co-host, as a leader, as man figure. But the worst part about you forgot your roots. See, the difference between me and you, Stel, I know my roots.
Oh, you
I
do?
know where I came from, okay? My parents, every year, they take me back to the motherland. They take me my roots. I remember getting cut by the Philadelphia Eagles 5 times. I remember my roots. But you don't remember your roots.
Oh.
Roots tell me this. Geno Smith is a backup quarterback. He gets 4 reps during every drill of practice. Russell Wilson gets 8. America, there are a total of 12 reps during every drill of practice before the whistle is blown, assuming a coach does not restart a drill. So Geno Smith is at best getting 33% of the snaps. He came in the game only getting 33% of practice snaps, led his team down a 98-yard touchdown drive on prime time with the season essentially held on by a thread because he knew that you would come on this show and start spewing nonsense.
You ready?
With all of that being said,
all right,
I got some faith in Geno. I got some faith in Lockett. I got some faith in DK Metcalf. I got some faith in the Super Bowl winning Pete Carroll. I don't know where you have your faith, but I got some faith in them individuals.
You got to have faith because it's belief in something that's unseen, which is Geno Smith putting together consecutive games. When the last time he threw a touchdown pass since you got so much faith in him?
2018.
Boy, you wasn't even on TV then. God dang, Geno Smith. Boy, it's been a minute. I'm not even going to disparage Geno Smith. That's unfair to him. But I am going to take you inside the film room. And I'm a defender. And I get to the film room first. Why? Because I'm the front line of defense, homeboy. The most skilled athletes on any football team are the defensive linemen. Why? Because we're the most athletic big men, not the offensive linemen. Respect the game as it's built. And coach is sitting there. I'm sitting there with my favorite D coordinator of all time. Ted Cottrell split him in half with Wade Phillips, and they sitting there flanking me. All right. Let's put on Geno Smith. He looked good. Whoa, 98-yard drive. Got to write some notes. Oh, another drive. 10 points in his first drive. Write some notes. Okay, guys, as Wade Phillips always says, we figured them out. This is what we're going to do. Attack weaknesses. Geno Smith will not be able to string together consecutive multiple games for this team to pull itself out of the conundrum it's in. It's just that simple. I'm not even trying to diss Geno. It's just how many games? How many more? Geno Smith, 12 more games potentially. He ain't going to play that long, obviously, because of dislocation.
Of course.
But let's say 2-3 games. It's going to be a wrap. They're going to be 2-4, 2-5.
Don't do this, Sal.
I'm going to do this because I dare you to come up here and tell me I forgot where I came from.
You did.
Okay, I'd rather forget where I come from than be like you, who hates where he's from. And you ain't from Nigeria. You ain't from the motherland. Your mama and daddy is.
Where I'm from.
You from Dallas.
Don't do that.
And last time I checked, you hate Dallas. You hate Dallas with a passion. And somebody sent me an article. Tell me the truth.
What happened?
You tried to play with the Cowboys, and they ain't like you.
That didn't happen. We talk
about that later? Oh, damn, it's that deep? Okay, God dang. Okay, all I know is I forgot something, you hate something. I know what my roots are. My roots are defensive line. My roots are I can get after this team offensively, not a problem. And defensively, they can't stop anybody. It's just that simple. Here's the problem with the Seattle Seahawks. They already put in all of their work to go a certain way. This is me and you when we go to run you. We go to run you.
Yes, sir.
I told you, Acho, let's go on this path. This is the paved path. This is the path where the people who grind and work out and look like me with six packs go. You want to go on that path. Why? I see her too. Yeah, you want to go on that path, super single path. You ain't going to look like me no more. And here's the thing. The Seattle Seahawks were on the path, all in, chips in the middle, to do it one way, let Russ cook. We even got to get a new coordinator to let him cook. Now, Russ can't cook, can't even stir the pot, finger messed up. And more importantly, doesn't look like they have a better offense than they did last year. This team right now is going to unravel right before our eyes.
Would you rather have 9 fingers as your quarterback or Ben Roethlisberger? Exactly. They play the Steelers next. Beyond that, would you rather have 9 fingers or potentially eat one off because you're eating W's? Exactly. They play the Saints after that. Would you rather have 9 fingers as your quarterback or a rookie in Trevor Lawrence? Exactly. And then they got the bye week. The Seahawks.
That's the only game they're going to win, week 9.
They got the Steelers. They got the Saints.
The bye.
They got the Jags.
What's their record in those 3? What's those 3? You saying 2-1? They're at least 2-1?
Yes, sir.
Say it with your chest. 2-1, yes or no?
I said 2-1.
Okay. Bet. Dinner bet right there. And then what? Oh, God, Lord. You better go 2-1. What that happens at the. Look at the right column.
Even if Russ has the injury, I trust Russell Wilson. Even if he does miss some games, I trust Russell Wilson that he will come back when they need him the most. Seahawks got nothing.
Need him the most? They needed him for these first 5 games. He's lost more than he's won. What are you talking about? Oh, this is our biggest issue. We got a few, but this is our biggest issue. We always have an equity conversation. Whether I put too much emphasis on equity or you sometimes just put too much on what somebody used to do. Russell Wilson right now ain't balling out of control, is he? Okay, that's part. Is the offense insane this year? Is it? No. Is the defense the worst in the league? Yeah. Like, I don't understand why you can't do what Tom Brady does. Every year, Tom Brady understands it's a new team with new conditions, new circumstances, new personnel, new schedule, everything. Why do you keep giving me Russell Wilson? Like he gonna come back and save this. Russell Wilson's part of why this is a problem in the first place. And that's when he could do this. Now, good luck with what this team looks like.
His fingers still look better than your left one.
You ain't never lied, but I'm out the league. Russell's still trying to play. Coming up, Baker Mayfield is having a rough week, but he's not staying silent. We'll tell you if we like his message to his doubters. But first, our own Troy Aikman, that's family right there, thinks the Cowboys can play with anybody out there. We'll tell you if we agree. That's next. Don't speak for yourself.
Now, the Cowboys are rolling right now on a 3-game win streak. Next up, a matchup at home against the New York Football Giants in America's Game of the Week on Fox. Our own Troy Aikman likes what he is seeing from his former team, saying, quote, I do feel this team can play with anybody, adding, quote, they do not have to be at their absolute best to do it, close quote. So, Sel.
Yes, sir.
You know, I live in hot water now talking about these Cowboys.
Yeah, and hateful water, too.
I'm trying to stay out of it. But do you agree with Troy Aikman that the Cowboys can play with anybody?
Yes, I agree with Troy Aikman. All of us former Cowboys agree with the sentiment that the Cowboys can play with anybody. But Troy poured a lot of syrup on this one. I like that because us former Cowboys do that about our team because our team is ready to ball out. If you look at this team week by week, this is not even going to be deep analysis. This is just going to be you watching the games and reviewing the resume of these Dallas Cowboys. Tampa Bay, best team. Worst time to play that best team, too. They brought back every single starter from a Super Bowl winning team. They had to play them on Thursday night on the road, and they were the healthiest they will be this year. And you beat that team. You didn't beat them in the win-loss column, but you beat them in performance, which matters most to me. Now let's look at the L.A. Chargers. You didn't win that game, but you won that game in the win-loss column. Because remember, the Chargers gave that game away, but you were still playing toe-to-toe with that team like that. Philadelphia, Carolina, we're not even going to talk about those games. Those games are obvious, absolutes. They smoked them. Dallas Cowboys can play with anybody because once you go out there toe-to-toe with the Super Bowl champions, what else is there to really go out there and do other than to continue to stack up the W's? This is a team that looks amazing, not only in terms of personnel, but the talent manifesting with that personnel. A lot of times we come up here and we want to disparage the Dallas Cowboys because they have the star on their helmet. A lot of times people want to take shots at them. A lot of times I work with a person that takes a shot or two at the Dallas Cowboys. Now he finally looks up. Oh, if you take shots at the Dallas Cowboys, if you're one of the people that disagrees with me and Troy Aikman about the Dallas Cowboys, you're just trying to be famous for the wrong reasons. You're just one of those dudes. Did you do the milk crate challenge? You look like a milk crate challenger. Did you do that? Like, milk crate's been in the hood all our lives. Since the day I was born, my first word was milk, and the second word was crate. I've seen them forever. You're supposed to put a wood plank on it, ride your bike over it, that's it. But you know what? People like you, Acho, who take shots at the Cowboys, are the same people that say, no, I'm going to walk over it. I see somebody else fall, watch me fall too. Acho, you will fall down and stay down if you talk bad about the Cowboys this year. I understand years past, you had some issues with them, and they were merited. Right now, Troy Aikman's right. These Cowboys play with anybody.
Troy Aikman is right.
Oh. You gotta let me know what you're saying before you say it, dude.
Now, look, I do need to say something, though, Sel, because you're not slick. You might fool them, but you ain't fooling me. And I know this much. Cowboys fans are so emotional, and rightfully so. They've been through a lot, particularly the last 25 years. They've been in a down stretch. So you come out here on television, along with the likes of so many others, and you sell somebody a dream. I go to Venice Beach every now and then. I don't go to Runyon because you don't actually go to Runyon. You just lie on camera. I go to Venice Beach to work out. That's where I get my workouts in. And when I go to Venice Beach, I pass all these like tarot card and palm readings and whatnot. And every time I'm going by one, I go on foot. I don't stop myself. I always hear the most amazing prophecies. You too will win the lotto next week. You will stumble into the man and woman of your dreams. Because they're selling dreams to people that are in their lowly states, and they buy them.
And you're not in a line.
That's what you do with these Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Now,
reading palms out here?
Yes, you're selling dreams out here. The Cowboys can, in fact, play with anybody. But here's what's important. That doesn't mean anything.
How?
24% of NFL games, Marcellus Wiley, are decided by 3 points or less. 24%. 51% of NFL games, Marcellus Wiley, are decided by one possession, 8 points or less. In the NFL, anybody can play with anybody. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the worst team in the league, were beating the Arizona Cardinals, the best team in the league, through 42 minutes of play. It was not until 3.5 quarters into the game that the Arizona Cardinals, the best team in the league, finally took control of the game versus the worst team in the league. In the NFL, Anybody can play with anybody. So don't brag about being able to play with anybody. Here's what Troy Aikman could have and should have said, which I believe to be true.
Let's go.
The Cowboys can beat anybody. Now, that's something to talk about. Being able to play with anybody don't mean anything. Anybody can play with anybody, particularly to the naked eye. Okay. DK Metcalf ran against a bunch of Olympic sprinters.
Don't do this. Don't do it.
To the naked eye, to the naked eye, it appeared that he ran with them. To the non-track eye, because 0.2 of a second is this. To somebody that don't run track, he just lost by this.
Lifetime.
To you and I, we know that's a lifetime. But to the naked eye, DK Metcalf ran with them. I don't care about being able to play with anybody. Anybody in the NFL can play with anybody. The Steelers beat the Bills week 1. The Saints beat the Packers week 1. Anybody can play with anybody. Can you beat anybody? That's the conversation I would like to have.
Well,
a higher level conversation.
Well, it's our show. You can have that conversation, and you can have it by yourself, because I'm not having that conversation. I can't believe you're going to try and now take his words and twist them like you don't understand where he's coming from. Let's go here. I've learned this in life, because you get caught. It's a catch-22. When you're talking to others, the masses, do you talk down to them because you have genius and expertise like a Troy Aikman? Do you talk down to them and dumb it down? We hear that a lot in our industry. Yeah, that was a great take, Acho, but won't you dumb it down? And you're like, dumb it down? What does that mean? Make it digestible, okay? Troy Aikman didn't make this digestible. He made this where if you understand where he's coming from, then you are one of the people that should understand where he's coming from. What does that mean, Acho? I take you through example form. In any NFL game, who's the best offensive tackle you ever play with?
Jason Peters.
Jason Peters.
Prime.
Beast. Yeah. Who's the best defensive end you ever played with?
Played with or know of?
Know of.
Yeesh. Dwight Freeney was
Okay,
nice.
Good. All right, I want everyone to just play this mental exercise with me. It may take a second. You got Jason Peters versus Dwight Freeney.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, stalemate. Who gonna win that, right? Okay, Acho, this is gonna be tough because I know you like people. Who's the worst DN you ever seen? That guy, right? Jason Peters versus that guy. Do you know in the play one that guy may play with Jason Peters? Do you know in the first quarter, Jason Peters may all of a sudden say, damn, this dude is kind of good. Maybe that guy even gets a sack on Jason Peters. But consistently, over time, consistent excellence. Will you see Jason Peters sooner or later show his prowess?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's what Troy Aikman's talking about. He's saying this team could play with anybody, and sooner than later, they're going to show their prowess. They're going to be in contention every single time. The difference in our game is not the huge gap between
the razor blades.
Number 1 and number 32 team is not this. It's this. But over time, it starts to morph into this. Troy Aikman is trying to highlight that this team is right here. And over time, they will actually be the cream of that crop.
I like that, but I subscribe to the genius of Albert Einstein, who says, make everything as simple as possible, but no simpler.
Oh, Wileyism.
I subscribe to that genius.
I like that.
So that genius to me says
what?
To say that the Cowboys can play with anybody is too simple. That's too simple. Of course they can. But anybody can play with anybody. To me, is can you beat them? What's so interesting to me, when the Cowboys lost to the Buccaneers, so many people said, well, the Cowboys missed a couple kicks. They missed 2 field goals. That's why they lost the game. You do have to understand a field goal kicker's on your roster. So if you miss the game because of a couple field goals, it's not coincidence. He's a part of your team. 24% of games are decided by a field goal. So you have to factor in that field goal that you missed as a part of the talent of your team.
What's the other 76? More than the field goal.
I don't know.
You know it's more than the field goal.
I say that to say this.
That's the majority.
The Cowboys, yes, play with anybody. Congratulations. I'll snap for you. Hercules. Can you beat them? And thus far, Cowboys got some good wins. That Chargers win is looking like a better win day in and day out. Panthers win, I don't love. That Chargers win, that Bucks loss, to me, they kind of neutralize each other. You beat one by 3, you lost to one by 2. But I'm not going to stand on a chair and start screaming because you can play with anybody. The Jaguars can play with anybody.
No, they can't.
The Jets just beat the Titans.
No, you could get a moment.
The Titans had beat the Seahawks.
You get a moment.
That's all you need.
You can get a game. No, you can't. Because in this situation, the Dallas Cowboys, to even get into, see, football is like inverted, like compared to other sports. Basketball, baseball. They go into a series in the playoffs. So that means you're 4 out of 7.
Yes,
you got to beat me, right?
Of course.
And football is do or die when it matters most.
It's a moment.
But you got to get there.
Sure.
You got to get there. And you won't even be in that position. You keep talking about beat, B-E-A-T. How do you spell beat? B-E. Be there first.
Sure.
The Cowboys will be there.
Absolutely.
And then they can continue and beat them. That's what my man Troy was talking about, the genius of that statement.
Here is what you have to focus on is this. If the game of football is decided by moments, it's an aggregation of moment after moment after moment after moment. Can the Dallas Cowboys beat anybody? Talk to me about that. Play with anybody? I do not care. Because Nick Foles had a moment against the Minnesota Vikings. Then he had a moment against the Atlanta Falcons. Then he had a moment against the New England Patriots.
Facts.
Then the Eagles had a moment because they won the Super Bowl. Now, is Nick Foles one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? No. But Nick Foles is capable of beating anybody and was capable of playing with anybody. So I'm not going to sit here and go crazy because the Cowboys can play with anybody. That don't mean nothing to me.
Okay, so right now, life on the line. And if I told you, who's number 32 in our league? Is it Jacksonville, really? But let's just go there because...
Or Texans with Davis Mills. Texans with Davis Mills.
Can they play with anybody?
Texans, no.
Oh, I thought everybody could play with everybody. See, already we are starting to see there's disparity even within the same conversation. Yeah, and that's what I love about this. The semantics of this is amazing because this is why I look at people who never played as people who should never, ever discount anybody who ever made it professionally. I don't care what level. Like one day, one rep on the practice squad. Because you ought to understand, everyone's a black belt in the NFL, right? So everybody is a black belt, but not everybody could play with everybody. Yeah, you could get a moment, but the game is not judged in the moment. It's judged in games. And the games collectively, before you get to a game, that means your entire fortune in one day. It's amazing that this was even a conversation. We didn't get to full layers on it, but can the Cowboys play with anybody? Yes. Can they beat anybody?
Yes, most people.
So why are you arguing against
the Rams?
God, talk. And whoever else he gonna come up with during commercial break. Coming up, Baker Mayfield. Said he's coming back stronger after his ups and downs. Oh, we'll tell you if we like that message to his doubters. I'm listening. Next, don't speak for yourself. Baker Mayfield has had quite the week. Coming off a bad performance in the Browns win over the Vikings. Now reports say he's been playing with a partially torn labrum in his left shoulder that he suffered back in mid-September. Baker is used to hearing it from critics, but he posted this message on IG Thursday. It said, in part, quote, "People seem to forget how I got here. Nothing was given, everything earned. Ups and downs, came out stronger and better every time. Winning is the priority for me, always has been and always will be. That's why I was brought to Cleveland, to change that narrative and impact others along the way. That being said, we have a great group. I have their back. They have mine. I'm going to battle for these guys every single week. On to the next challenge." Man, you like Baker Mayfield's message to these doubters out there?
First off, I love it, and I love that he made you have to read 2 paragraphs.
Oh, wow. And that was abbreviated. God.
I love Baker Mayfield's message because Baker Mayfield's message is real. First and foremost, let me say this, and enough people don't realize this in life. A rising tide floats all boats. You won't have to selfishly focus on yourself and what you have going on in life. If everyone else is winning around you and you are to some degree a part of that win, you will also win and elevate with them. A rising tide floats all boats. So, as long as the Browns is winning, Baker Mayfield is winning. And if the Browns is losing, Baker Mayfield is losing. Baker has his eyes fixed on the right thing. Make sure the team around me wins. My coach told me this. It blew my mind when I was in college. It stuck with me for these 12 years. It was after my sophomore year. Sophomore year, we go to the national championship. True story, we play Alabama. We have 6 All-Americans. 6 of them, count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 All-Americans. It ain't that many cats on the All-American team, so Texas done put everybody in the All-American squad.
Were y'all favored to win?
No, I don't even know. I don't
all that talent y'all weren't supposed to win?
Alabama had Julio Jones, Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson, they had some.
That's only 3.
Hightower.
4. You got 6. But I'm listening.
They had some dudes.
Y'all underachieved.
So with that being said, my coach told me going into next season, he told me this story. Oh, the story gonna blow your mind.
Let's go.
The 1990 New York Giants, they had 7 Pro Bowlers. They went 13-3, won their second Super Bowl in 5 seasons. 7 Pro Bowlers because they went 13-3, won their second Super Bowl in 5 seasons. In 91, those 7 players that made the Pro Bowl were still on the team. However, the Giants went 8-8 and missed the playoffs and had 1 Pro Bowler. What was the difference? The difference was that rising tide that rose in 1990 made everybody get all the credit they deserved. In 91, team didn't win. Nobody got no credit.
Okay.
As I look at it, personal experience, when we went to the national championship, there were cats that were All-Americans, came back the next year that weren't All-Americans because we finished 5-7.
Yeah.
Dudes played better individually, but collectively they didn't get the credit because the team was no good. What Baker's saying is this: my eyes are focused on the prize. The prize is collective success. As long as we collectively win, I too will win. That's a smart mentality.
So you said this is real, huh?
Yes, sir, the realist.
Yeah, it's real. Real weak of Baker Mayfield to do this. Really weak. Oh, my God. Woo! How did Baker Mayfield get in a position where he had to actually post about the position he's in? Do actions, do performance, right? So why do you think words, text, whatever you want to call an IG story, is going to get you out of something it didn't get you into? This is not a firestorm about, oh, did you hear what Baker Mayfield said? So he now has to say something else that will cancel what he said. No, this is a guy who's trying to distract me from his actions by his words. Hey, bro, where I'm from, that's weak sauce, homeboy. You play football, and there's two ways to play it, good or bad. And take it the way it comes and try to change it. But Baker, instead of you trying to carefully manicure a post, and look, we all been on IG and we've all done stories. One, it takes forever because you got to pick out your font, got to pick out your shade in the background. You got to make them blue lines grow together. You be up, man, look,
real.
Dog, the post is going to take you 5-10 minutes just to get it going. Then you're going to have to check your views. Is it hitting? Is it popping? Is it hitting up like this? Then you check your DMs to see who really want to get engaged. Then you got to,
They added
other reasons. But you're playing it off because you got a post going. So anyway, you're doing all that. And you know what you could be doing, Baker Mayfield? Just watching a little more film. Just studying your craft a little more. Stop being so damn inconsistent with your actions, but consistent with your words, which are weak. I don't like this at all. You want to go and give me a story about the New York Giants and rising tide? Here's the funny thing about this. In this world, there are no solutions, just trade-offs. So someone could say rising tides, and you get the credit from a rising tide. And the same person who is sitting there in that tide that is higher and higher will look down and say, man, we're only as strong as our weakest link. High tide, but somebody got to be at the bottom, right? And you're going to drizzle down there. I'm looking at Baker Mayfield, and this is so crazy. I've seen teams where the guy that you are sitting there trying to defend, the team is looking at, we're winning in spite of them. So guess what's going to happen? We're going to try our best to replace them. Now, I don't think Baker Mayfield is in that position, but certainly we're not going to sit here and say he's not getting his proper credit, because I give you this case, an example. There was a 4-12 quarterback that not only was a Pro Bowler, not only lauded and taunted as one of the best last year, but also is not even in position to play right now and is getting paid handsomely. His name is Deshaun Watson. He was on the 4-12 team. He got all the credit, all the rewards, all the love he deserved by his individual performance. So sometimes you could get lost in the sauce because you're someone who should get lost in the sauce. My last point is this. I'll give you a story, quick story. It's one of my favorite stories. I've said it before. I must keep saying it. Baker Mayfield. Jack Del Rio wants to see you. Coach Jack Del Rio will sit there because he's a former player and he's a coach. And he will sit there and say what I saw him say on that training camp day. When I saw that young wide receiver running and then the ball came and we were just sitting there like another play. And he dove to the crowd's elation. Oh, my God, what a wonderful play. And Jack Del Rio, the former player who's a head coach, looks at us and says, yeah, if he was faster, he wouldn't have to dive. Hey, Baker, if you were better, you wouldn't have to post about it. Just play, bro.
Here's the thing, Sal. I like that story. I love that story. Keep telling it honestly.
Oh, that's silly.
But Baker Mayfield's not lost in the sauce. You are. And he's trying to help you discover the truth.
What's the truth?
The truth is this. Baker Mayfield, he said that his career has always been up and it is down, but it has always worked out. That's what Baker Mayfield says. Must I remind everyone, Baker Mayfield was a walk-on to Texas Tech. That's down. But then he became the starter. That's up. Baker Mayfield transferred to the University of Oklahoma, was not the starter, that's down. Became the starter, won a Heisman, that's up. Baker Mayfield was drafted to the Cleveland Browns. They were 1-31 the prior 2 seasons. That's the worst in NFL history over a 2-year span, that's down. But 2 years later, he takes his team 11-5 to the playoffs, first time since 2002. That is up. Baker Mayfield is not lost in the sauce. Marcellus Vernon Wiley, you, sir, are lost in the sauce, and Baker's just trying to give you the GPS route and remind you.
I love it.
He's just trying to remind you, hey, Sal, I've been here before. It's not your fault. It's not your fault you're lost because based off normal ideology, man, Baker Mayfield, you only have 2 touchdown passes on the season. That's not good. You're low. You can't recover from this. But Baker is also like, how many starting quarterbacks were former walk-ons? Baker is also like, how many starting quarterbacks were walk-ons who then had to transfer? Baker is also like, how many starting quarterbacks were walk-ons who had to transfer, who were drafted to a franchise that was 1-31 the previous 2 seasons? No franchise has been that bad. Then leads his team to the playoffs. Oh, hint, no one. So Baker Mayfield did say, and I agree with, I'm built for what nobody else is built for because Baker Mayfield is. Is he in a low stretch? Yes. But has he been in a lower stretch before and gotten out of it to higher heights? Absolutely. Go ahead, Sal.
I will go ahead. And I want you to come with me this time because please do not justify this irrational behavior. Here's the thing. Nobody cares about your path to greatness. We just care about the results, bro. And we're in a result-built business. And Baker Mayfield knows that as well. Oh, I had to stay up all night to pass the test. That's a you problem, bro. Me? I was playing Sega all night. Because you know why? I know how to handle my business. Now, Baker Mayfield understands what he has raised his hand to do. And in all this, oh, woe is me, and I've been down before, I'll be up before. I don't want to hear your roller coaster ride. Let me tell you why. Not a single soul on this planet ever raised their hand to be an underdog. I was born an underdog. I didn't know it until I got older and realized, damn, I was an underdog. Who cares? Nobody want to hear about your underdog experience. We want to see if you're going to become the top dog. If not, shut up. And you can't post your way out of that situation, that reality. So Baker Mayfield, because he's want to embrace the underdog mentality. Why? Because there's so many underdogs in this world. Hey, I got a nice place to lay down with people who are not going to achieve. And you sit there and then wax poetic about, well, I've been down before. You're in a profession where it's nothing but uber talent everywhere. And we only care about the results, right? So you're going to tell me how hard it is for you versus somebody who's going to look at you and see you on Sundays like, it's easy for me. Who you think I care more about? The one who's going to make it happen. Baker Mayfield keeps thinking we care about behind the veil. No, when the curtain's closed, I don't give a damn what I don't care what Wu-Tang doing. Open it up. I want to hear your rock, RZA. That's all I want from Baker Mayfield. He gets lost in the sauce. He's so worried about getting exposed. He getting so worried and, where's IG? Where's it? He's so worried about getting exposed, he exposes himself. I witnessed this firsthand last night from one of the greats. And you like Dave Chappelle? I love Dave Chappelle. Went to see Dave Chappelle last night at Hollywood Bowl. If you went, you understand where I'm coming from. If you didn't go, you're lucky. All right. So Dave Chappelle is up there right now, and he's talking about getting canceled. Now, me, I'm blind to the fact that Dave Chappelle's in the crosshairs of potentially getting canceled, which is nothing anyway. I don't even know what that means. So I'm just sitting there like, wait a minute. I came here to see you, and I came here to hear a joke. But all I'm hearing is you talk about being canceled. Me, you know me. I interrupt the brunch real quick. It was like, that ain't smart. That is stupid. I'm sitting there like, why are you introducing this negativity to an audience that ain't canceling you, that actually supports you, that actually here spending their money and their time just to see you? We're invested in you. Baker Mayfield, Dave Chappelle, same thing, bro. Why are you over here explaining something to me that I ain't one of your supporters? I'm not following you on IG. Why are you telling the people who do follow you on IG, I've been down before, I'll be up again? They already know that if they know you. Why are you saying that and introducing that to the world at large? You know why? Because something deep down, dog, makes you believe and try to make us believe that you gonna get there. I don't know. I'm doubting Baker Mayfield, and I ain't gonna go on IG to figure it out. Coming up, the Cowboys are getting a lot of praise lately. Right now, we'll tell you if they've earned the hype, and that's next on Speak for Yourself. And that's Chappelle Show.
Tomorrow, it's time to settle the score in round 3 between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for the heavyweight championship of the world. Tomorrow at 9 Eastern, live on pay-per-view. Buy it on the Fox Sports app. So, Sale, this is a huge fight. How excited are you for Fury Wilder part 2?
Come on, man. You already know I'm geeked up. I was at the last one, They're going to miss my attendance this week because I just moved and, I got a lot of housework to do. But always excited for that. Should I give a prediction right now?
Yeah, I want to hear.
Okay.
And what round?
What round? I say 6th round. And it's going to be Wilder. He ain't wearing that suit this time going into the ring. It won't take him 20 minutes to either. And he won't be fatigued when he gets there. 6th round, Wilder. Put him down.
I like it. Well, let's get back to Dallas because everything seems to be going for the Cowboys. The Cowboys' way right now. They're on a 3-game win streak with the home matchup this Sunday against the Giants on Fox. Our own Troy Aikman praised his former team, saying the Giants are, quote, aren't in Dallas's class as far as I'm concerned, close quote. So, Sel, have the Cowboys earned all this hype?
Yes, they have earned all this hype. It makes me think, all hype is earned. All hype is earned is just not always realized. You don't just walk around looking for things to hype up. They jump out at you. They make you take notice, attention. Now, doesn't mean it's going to live up to it, but is the hype earned? Hell yeah. The Cowboys jumped out at us. Week 1, if they get smoked by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hype, anyone? Come back and beat the Chargers in the game that we're head-scratching. The Chargers won that game, I thought. But spank Carolina. The hype is earned. They have done their part. So now, what will the Cowboys do with this hype is another conversation. The Cowboys are so talented. It added up. Finally, you hit the equal sign and you realize this is a squad. So much talent that they can let a Jalen Smith go in the middle of the season. Why? Because they have that much talent at that position. And that's just a microcosm of the talent in every single group on this team. I look at them offensively. This offense not only challenges your defense, but challenges your offense to keep pace with our offense. Dak Prescott, 32.1 points per game since last year in terms of being a starting quarterback. You walk into an arena, a stadium, and you look up and you think you're supposed to see zeros, and you see 32 up already, and a .1 if they could do that on the scoreboard. 32 points up already. Oh, that's pressure, brother. So, yes, the Dallas Cowboys have earned that hype.
I agree with you, Marcellus Wiley. The Cowboys have earned their hype. Now, we're going to go places on this take. Y'all bear with me. The Cowboys have earned the hype in regards to they've always been hyped up, and yet they haven't necessarily always balled. So now that they're actually balling, heck yeah, they deserve some of this hype.
There you go.
But now I have to dive into the detail.
Don't go too deep.
You have to. So, I love the spelling bee. When I went to St. Mark's, private school in Dallas, Texas, and a kid the grade above me, he won the national spelling bee. Saigon Turi, he won the national spelling bee. He went to my high school. His winning word was Poco Curante.
Is that a real word?
Real word. Yeah, look it up. What I love about the spelling bee is they always ask, can you use it in a sentence? But more importantly, they ask language of origin, right? Where's this word coming from? What's this the root word of? Have the Dallas Cowboys lived up to the hype? Beyond the shadow of a doubt, Cowboys fans, y'all have. But, Sal, hype. Can I get the language of origin, please? Because hype is short for hyperbole. Hyperbole is an exaggerated statement or a claim not meant to be taken literally. So I hope the Cowboys aren't an exaggerated team not meant to be taken literally in sense of how good they are. Root word, hype. Hype also could have come from hyper. And hyper was actually meant to trick or to swindle.
Really? You ain't seen MJ. He's just hyper. He ain't trying to swindle.
I
He just
hope
can't
the
stay
Cowboys
still.
ain't trying to trick or swindle people in regards to how good they are.
I heard
yes,
that.
the Cowboys have earned the hype. I'm just wondering the root word, Sel, of hype. They better not be trying to trick these Cowboys fans, swindle these Cowboys fans, and I hope how good they are is not an exaggeration that's not meant to be taken literally.
Oh, my God. The exaggeration taken literally. So, wow. I don't know what you mean by that. You're the king of last year when Dak Prescott got injury, projecting how that team will look, and it was a negative. This is your self-hate coming out. I'm your therapist. So last year, what did it go down? Dak was 1-3?
Yeah, 1-3.
1-3, right? And I remember show after show hearing you say, this is a 4-12 bunch with Dak.
Sir.
Well, right now, they're projected to go, what? What is there, 4-1 right now?
12-4. So.
Oh, really? See, you can't even say it with a smile.
17 games, so 12-5 or 13.
Nobody went to that school to figure that math out. Nobody. So I'm with you. So a 12-win team.
Yes. It's a good team.
Is that damn good team? Let's start there. Damn good team. And let's finish here. Since you got a damn good team, what can happen going forward? something that's damn good because you have put yourself in position once again. First, you got to be there. Then you go there and you do what you need to do. I like your spelling bee example. Can I tell you my spelling bee story? I'll weave it into this somehow, some way. Second grade, Kenya Petaway and myself. All right, so we're the finalists. Like, everybody else done lost, dummies. Like, I don't know what happened to Prop 48s. Little kids, y'all are smart. Your parents ain't teaching you. Me and Kenya Petaway, we're killing it, right? In front of the whole school is sick with it, right? And then they said, Marcellus. See, this is why you got to, oh, man, they did me wrong. Marcellus, spell queen. Second grade now, all right? I said, Queen, queen. Sit there, you know what I'm saying? What's up? About to walk on them. And it was like, we'll use it in a sentence. See, this is how they do it in my school. You ain't have to ask, they just tell you. All right, we're going to use it in a sentence. Basically, that means you ain't got it right yet. I'm like, man, my school bad. They don't even know how to spell queen. They said, Queen Elizabeth is a beautiful lady. Marcellus, please spell queen. And I said, Queen. Start walking again, right? They said, Kenya, can you spell queen? She says, yes. Capital Q, U-E-E-N, and won the spelling bee. Now, that's the hood rules, right? But I lost the spelling bee for everybody because I ain't capitalized Q. Why do I bring that up? I don't know yet. The devil's in the details. And I remember crying to Kenya Petaway post-show. I was really crying, like literal tears, because I was like, I spelled it right, kind of. And I said, how'd you know to capitalize it? She said, I saw it in the book. Oh, Dallas Cowboys, you know what I've seen before from this team, this organization, this franchise? I saw it in greatness. Jerry Jones is the architect of this team. You don't like Jerry Jones for whatever reason, you don't have the full respect to Jerry Jones. You forget, he doesn't have a Super Bowl championship. He doesn't have 2. He has 3. What he has done right now with a hybrid role, he's the only owner, general manager I know in the NFL, and has constructed, literally or in exaggeration, the best roster in the NFL. Give him some flowers. He has put his team in position to do something he's already done before, and he knows what those details look like. So I'm looking at the Cowboys earning the hype and then going out there and living up and realizing what that hype is. I
have no issue with Jerry Jones when it comes to making money. I've said that before. Him being overstepping his boundaries, I don't always love. Him stepping on toes all the time.
It turns into this.
As a GM, as of late, he's actually been doing his thing as of late. Ever since Tyron Smith, Des Bryant, etc., he's been in his bag, especially William McClay, I believe, is a person who's the senior director.
He's the one that brought me in and cut me. He's smart. He's smart. He's
out there and doing his thing. But since you're talking about hood rules, I think we have to remember that all this hype that the Cowboys are seeing on social media, the rules of social media are not also the rules of real life.
No lies.
Okay, because Cowboys seeing a lot of hype on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc. But you got to see the games on Sundays. Now, have the Cowboys earned the hype? Yes, because they are in the conversation of greatness. Will they live up to the hype? That's the question, TBD. But I look at it like this in basketball. Westbrook gets hyped, Harden gets hyped, Embiid gets hyped, Jokic gets hyped, Curry gets hyped, Bron gets hyped, Giannis gets hyped, because they're always in the conversation of best player in the NBA. Only one can win. But as long as you're in the conversation, you deserve that hype. Cowboys are in the conversation of being the best team in the NFL.
Yes.
I don't think they are the best team in the NFL. But as long as they in the conversation, which they currently in, I have no problem with them getting the hype. Now, though, Sal, for me, it's all, will they live up to it?
Well, here's the problem. Last year, were they a playoff team? No.
No, sir.
This year, there's a ton of hype. What do you just think? Is coincidence? No, they actually went out there and said, hey, hype, come here. You know what? Jump on us. We got you this year. Because last year, the hype is always going to be there to a degree, I should say, with the star. I play for the Cowboys, and it's really a different experience. There are 31 teams in the NFL, and then there are the Cowboys. I'm not even slighting any other organization.
That's
just
true.
how you're received. I go right now to any school and talk, and this is what always occurs in reception. First of all, whoever's introducing me, please read my Wikipedia 5 more minutes before I get there, so you can know it. They just reading literally. Okay, he's a typewriting champion. He went to all right, whatever, dude, move. And then you're in front of the kids. It's so funny. And he's like, oh, what teams you play for? He's like, I play for the Buffalo Bills. San Diego Chargers. They ain't even a team no more. Shut up, little man. All right. Jacksonville. Ooh, they sorry. And the Dallas. You can't even get Dallas out. The kids lose their mind, man. It's silly. So this team right now put itself in a position with the hype because they've taken it to a fever pitch just because of their performances. Speaking of the Cowboys, these little badass kids, don't miss your chance to win $100,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. We're going to help you win some money this weekend. Scan the QR code below. Download the app now and play along with us. Giants Cowboys, one of the feature matchups, and 88% of America, Des Bryant, I see you, is picking Dallas so far. Acho, who wins? How many points?
Cowboys gonna get this one done. Give me the Cowboys by 12.
Cowboys by 12?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm coming over to your crib. I say Cowboys by 15. 32-17. Fox Bet Super 6 has given away over $5 million already. You could be the next jackpot winner. Just ask Jonathan from Rhode Island, who won $100,000 last Sunday. Jonathan, hit me up. Download the app and pick the outcomes of 6 NFL games for your shot to win Terry's money. It's completely free to play. Coming up, 2 of the top teams in the AFC will face off Sunday. Tell you if the Browns or Chargers are a bigger threat in the conference. Next, don't speak for yourselves. Let's get to my Chargers. They have a big matchup against the Browns. Who? Who are the Browns? Right here in L.A. on Sunday. And you know I'll be there. And I'll be there to witness both squads coming in with a 3-1 record. All right, but the Chargers are favored by 2.5 points right now, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. Homie, Acho, who's the bigger AFC threat? The Browns or my Chargers?
Sel, you know the answer to this question. It's a silly question that you're asking me. It's absolutely the Cleveland Browns. And on paper, based off hot takes, if we want to blow with the wind and go...
Here comes a hot take if you say Browns.
The Chargers. Oh, my God. Oh, the Chargers, obviously Justin Herbert. Oh, he's so much better than Baker Mayfield.
I can't.
Y'all, you please have to do your homework. And I'm going to give y'all your homework. I'm the kid in class who said yes. Now, you can cheat off me. Nah, you can cheat off me. Oh, you want to do the homework? Here, you got it. Oh,
here you go.
No, answer to 16.
Here you go.
Nah, it's 35. Okay, I'm the one who's going to give y'all all the answers to the test. So what is the answer to the test? The answer is the Browns. And now the teacher will always ask you, show your work. I'm going to show y'all the work, and y'all just regurgitate it. Before Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes had to lose to Tom Brady. Before Deshaun Watson won a playoff game, Deshaun Watson had to lose a playoff game. Before Lamar Jackson could beat Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs, he had to lose to Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs. Before Josh Allen won a couple playoff games, Josh Allen had to lose to Deshaun Watson in the playoffs. What we know is every young quarterback, before they can win in a major way, they have to take a major L.
All right, I get you.
Justin Herbert has not yet made, or taken rather, his major L.
Oh, no.
Baker Mayfield has already taken his L. He lost to our dog, Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs. Baker Mayfield has been there. The Browns have been there. They have taken that beating, if you will. So now when they go there again, they can ascend. The only quarterback who has gone to the playoffs and instantly succeeded was Tom Brady, but he took his L by sitting on the bench and watching. Even Ben Roethlisberger, who won a Super Bowl at the youngest age, he went to the playoffs first and lost in the divisional round. Russell Wilson, he went to the playoffs and he lost to the Atlanta Falcons before winning his Super Bowl. Every young quarterback and that young quarterback's team, they must go and lose before they go and win. It's easy to hop on the bandwagon now and say, oh, the Chargers are much better than the Browns because they have Justin Herbert. But y'all, if you want to show your work and you want to do your work, the real work and the real answer is found in realizing Herbert has to go and lose before he can go and win. Baker Mayfield has already gone and lost. Now he can go back and actually win.
Oh, my God. You didn't believe none of that. But I'm going to let you. Well, first of all, it's already out there for the world to see. I'm sorry. You want to take it back? Anybody want to rewind 3 more minutes? I love you too much to be saying this craziness.
It's history.
Oh, it's history. Yeah, it is. No, it's more his story. Let's talk about what this is. KRS-One versus Big Daddy Kane versus coming up. Boy, that's going to be epic. It's the Chargers. It's easy. It's simple. How should I frame this? There's only 2 teams in the NFL and only 1 team playing in this game that has a top 10 offense and top 10 defense. Is that team better than the other team that has a top 10 defense, but a 26th ranked offense with a quarterback that is spending more time on IG explaining his bad performances rather than just going out there and working? I'm going to go with the team that has a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. I'm also going to go with the team that when it all gets down to crunch time, as you always tell me, 24% of all NFL games come down to a field goal. This one won't. But you say that games are closely contested. Which quarterback do you have? Would you take Justin Herbert right now? We at Venice Beach where you're working out. You say, Go. You need to go right now. You ain't working out like you should. Not them dudes at Venice Beach. You don't look like them. Anyway, Acho over there looking at somebody, and he doing this. Acho, Justin Herbert's walking up, and Baker Mayfield. Which quarterback you grabbing?
Herbert, of course.
Okay. So at the end of it all, it's about the quarterback, and that's what we're going to talk about. Not only is it a better roster, Chargers. Yes.
Nah.
You don't want to go there?
We can go all the way there.
We're going to go. All right, next. We're going to do group by group. Yep. You're going to get real quiet. But let's get there. Look at this team, the Cleveland Browns right now. They don't know their formula for success. It's supposed to be the running game, right? And then it's supposed to be Baker Mayfield, just come in, do your parts, fill in the gaps, fill in the voids. Is he doing that consistently? No. Is this team looking like it's the same team of last year? No. Do you know on third down, this team is 15th ranked? Do you know in turnovers, 18th ranked? Do you know in takeaways, 21st ranked? Do you know in sacks, 25th ranked? Wait a minute. I thought the formula was dictate the clock, ground control, and play stout defense. Only one of those things, maybe two of those things, you raise your hand. The rest of those things are incomplete, largely because of Baker Mayfield. And what happens when all that occurs? Mistakes. Oh, are you 27th in penalties? It's not adding up this year. Now, they're getting their wins, obviously, because they do have this stellar defense and they still have that running game. But they don't have enough of the condiments that's necessary. And when it comes down to it, it's going to be about the quarterback. Now, let's play that.
The problem, though, Sal, when you got a good burger, you don't need no condiments.
Which burger you had with no condiments? Not even In-N-Out.
When you're young, Sal, and you're no longer. When you're young and you go to a steakhouse like a kid, you used to go to like Outback or something like that.
Sizzlers.
You order some Sizzlers. Can I get some A1 sauce, please?
Oh, yeah, that's first.
Can I get some A1 sauce?
That's first.
But then as you mature and you go to a place that got a real steak, you realize not only do you not need steak sauce, it's offensive to ask for.
But what if you want it?
The Browns already got a real trio, a real steak. They don't necessarily need no condiments. But let's play the game for the last 2 minutes.
That's on Baker then.
Browns have a better roster than the Chargers, and I'm not particularly sure it's close. We know the Browns have a better offensive line. Correct. We know the Browns have a better running game. Correct. Do not be deceived by the quarterback who has a better receiving core.
Chargers.
You are being
They're out of Landry hurt, and when Landry's healthy, he got a lower ceiling than what the heck? Mike Williams? Are you kidding me?
Landry plus Odell.
Keenan Allen? Like, dog, what year are you talking about?
The problem is this. If Odell Beckham was playing...
Quarterback, receivers, give me that.
Quarterback
and receivers, we already done.
Quarterback. I can't give you receivers. You want receivers because of your quarterback.
No, I want receivers because they're better.
Let's go defensive line. Don't you dare.
Don't you dare what?
Second.
Bosa?
Myles Garrett had 4.5 sacks last week.
Yeah.
You calm down with your Bosa nonsense.
Bosa or Myles Garrett? I am not fighting that one out. I say draw. I am not picking one over there. I'm not picking one over there.
Bosa's never in a conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. Ever. Myles Garrett was last year in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year.
Did he win it? Okay, get quiet. Anyway, I'm just saying right there, and there are more people on the line than that, but I'm just going to go there. Bosa ain't nothing to sneeze at. But we can give it
I'm a cough.
Secondary?
Secondary, y'all got.
Get quiet. So you just made my point. We got a better roster. And coaching... Brandon Staley is a mug.
He's nice.
He's silly with it. Ask the Rams defense. Brandon Staley.
Let me ask you this. You're in the playoffs. You got Brandon Staley. You have Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
I'm going with Stefanski because he's already played 2 playoff games.
Okay, let me get...
Staley has no playoff games as a head coach.
That's what you started off with. I just thought you were going to let that go. Yeah, but here's the problem. You don't have to fail to succeed. And you certainly don't have to be a Baker Mayfield who continues the roller coaster of failure, succeeding. And you keep trying to point at Justin Herbert like he hasn't taken his lumps. You don't think Justin Herbert's taking his lumps? He went 6-9 last year. Is that lumps? I would think so. He lost 45-0 to Cam Newton's New England Patriots. Is that a lump? Hold on, dog. Like, he hasn't lost in the playoffs because he hasn't made the playoffs. But the dude has taken his lumps. And you know what I love about him so far? I don't see the roller coaster. Baker Mayfield, every time I want it, you know what, Baker, you're right. I'm the hater. I need to eat my crow a minute. You went backwards. Baker Mayfield's too inconsistent to be the leader of a team that you're trying to sell me over the Chargers.
My fear is this, Sal, and you know this don't work in life, it don't work in the NFL, and it don't work on video games. You cannot just simulate to face the boss. Before you become the CEO, you got to take your steps. You better work. You better climb up. You better climb up to management.
6-9.
You can't just face Bowser and Mario. You better beat them other little leaders first before you go facing Bowser.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert can't just simulate to a division champion, to a conference championship game.
Really?
He got to get to the playoffs first and take a L, or at least get there.
Patrick Mahomes was able to do it. I think Herbert's of the same caliber. Coming up, speaking of LA teams, Matthew Stafford led his Rams to a big win last night. Tell you if they're the best team in the NFC. Oh, we going there next. Don't speak for yourself. 6-9 are long.
The Rams bounced back from last week's loss to Arizona with a win against the Seahawks last night. Now, Matthew Stafford threw for 365 yards and a touchdown pass. LA is now an impressive 4-1 and are right behind the undefeated Cardinals in the NFC West. Sale!
Yes.
Are the Rams the best team in the NFC?
No, they're not the best team in the NFC. Coming off that Tampa win, you were thinking that, and then you realized, oh, Arizona. Then you realize, oh, Dallas. And not a sputter last night, but just a little longer expectancy in terms of when y'all gonna get rid of this team. Geno Smith is out there trying to spark this team to a comeback? No, that's not going to happen, right? Oh, okay, you're right. It's not going to happen. But stayed a little too long up there with Seattle for my liking as the best team in the NFC. So I'm going to go Dallas. Not going to have that argument. Arizona, we're not going to have much to say. We got to go on to the next block. You look at the Rams team right now. The thing I don't like about their team is more on the defensive side. Like, it's the absence of their defensive coordinator. We were just talking about him, Brandon Staley. The defense is giving up almost 400 yards a game. If you look at them on that side of the ball, that's when you can start to poke holes. We had the conversation about Cleveland roster versus the Chargers roster. It's hard to poke holes at their roster offensively. Receiving core, dynamic, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. You know the quarterback is out of this world. And even Austin Eckler, who has more receiving yards than he does rushing yards in his career, he's just a different type of threat. So if you look at our team, we're out there doing the most. So I would say it's the... You ready? You good?
Yeah.
You good? Okay, you just don't like me right now. I saw that face.
Not at all.
I would say it's Arizona or Dallas. Now let's talk.
Okay, let's really talk. It's definitely the Rams are the best team. Now, here's what's so interesting. We have to preface with this. I get the Cardinals beat them. But we're talking about who is the best team in the NFC. Not
you want to make your own question.
Sunday.
No,
who's the best team in the NFC? The Rams are the best team in the NFC. Here's how I look at it very simply. You know the saying, Sal, you are what you eat. If you are what you eat, then you are who you beat.
I hate that.
And if you are who you beat, then who have the Rams beat? All 4 of the Rams' victories are over playoff teams from last year. The Bears, the Colts, the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Cardinals. Who have they beat? I understand they beat the Rams. Check. Congratulations. But they've also beat the Jaguars. Oh. They beat the Vikings. Oh. They beat the... So when I really look at it, the Rams not only have 4 wins, the same amount of wins as the Arizona Cardinals, the Rams have also beaten 4 teams that have made the playoffs from last year. The Rams are just so consistently good. No, they were not the best team last Sunday. I understand that. They lost to the Cardinals. Yes, if they were to play that game again, which they will, and if they were to play that game again after that, which they likely will, I like the Rams, and I will continue to like the Rams.
Let's talk about these wins again, because you just said something crazy. Did you say win over the Bears gives you confidence?
I didn't say it gives me confidence, but the Bears made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
The playoff win.
And the Colts, you said? Okay. Let's just keep talking about other teams. That is not it. Quarterback issues all around both of those teams. That means you're not going to get a full charge from either one of those teams. We already know that the Cardinals have the best record. We already know that the Cardinals play the Rams. If they play them again, they're going to beat them again. You know why? Because they're a better team. Why is this so difficult?
That's lazy. That's lazy.
No, we're not going to do New Orleans and Tampa Bay last year.
Here's the problem.
We're going to talk about trajectory, too.
You get paid too much to come up here with a lazy take. I refuse to have you...
Why is it lazy? Because it's not hot.
No.
It's simple.
No.
What did Einstein say? Keep it simple, stupid.
What's the Einstein?
Go. How is that lazy?
Here's what's lazy. You can't simply look at record and say, oh, because they have the undefeated record, they're the best.
That's what they played each other. They played each other. How'd that go? The Rams got their soul snatched.
They did. Rams got...
So why? I'm about to believe in y'all. Look, Tampa Bay last year got their soul snatched by New Orleans. But I was like, that was their first game with no preseason, no offseason. This is the Rams early in the season.
Yep.
But be real. Are they looking like they're a better team since that moment or a worse team? They played Seattle last night. How'd that look?
They still look good in Seattle, Sal. You know how hard it is to play in Seattle, how loud it is
without Russell Wilson there?
Russell Wilson was only gone for the last 3 series. He's only gone for the last 3 series now.
And they were down when he was there. So it's like the Rams look good enough against the Seattle team I don't think highly of. You think highly of the Seattle Seahawks? Go ahead. Give me the hot take.
For me, I think the Rams have a top 5 quarterback. I think we
yes
at this point.
Playing the season. Okay.
Playing the season.
Boy, stop.
Okay. They got a top 5 quarterback this season.
Okay, let's go.
They have a top 5 coach. They have a generational talent at defensive tackle. Aaron Donald already has the Rams record for crazy. I just found that out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He top 10 all time. He top 10 all time.
Top 10 all time
already.
And then you got Jalen Ramsey, who's a generational talent at cornerback. How can you not be considered the best team when you have all that?
Oh, Coach. Can I, Coach,
Please.
if you may? I hope you don't get fired over this, Coach, but I'm just going to bring this up in front of the owner. Because you're 16th ranked on defense in the running game, you're 24th ranked in the passing game, and you're 24th ranked overall, and you're third down, you're 29th ranked with all those generational talents on defense. Something ain't adding up. Maybe it's the coaching, Coach. Coming up, there are several big matchups in Week 5 this weekend, but we'll tell you which team should be on upset alert next on Speak for Yourself.
Week 5 kicked off last night, and there's a lot more to look forward to this weekend. The 3-1 Packers are on the road against the 3-1 Bengals, and the Cardinals will try to stay undefeated at home against the 49ers. Here's a look at some of the biggest spreads according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. You got the Bucks, the 9.5-point favorite over the Dolphins, and the Ravens favored by 7 against the Colts on Monday night. So, Sel, which team should be on upset alert this weekend?
Tampa Bay, watch your back, man. You're going against the Miami Dolphins, coming off that emotional high of the reunion and Belichick and Brady. Could be a little letdown performance. And look at this statistic right here. Brady has 6 losses against the Dolphins in the last 7 years. Now, that doesn't sound like a ton, except that's almost 20% of all of his losses to one team. The Miami Dolphins kind of got his number.
I got to tell you the real one to watch. Arizona Cardinals might get upset by the San Francisco 49ers. You know what? Let me say it with my chest. The Arizona Cardinals will get upset this weekend by the 49ers. Here's why. Remember how Jalen Hurts balled against the Saints last year?
Yeah.
The Cardinals will not have any tape on Trey Lance. Trey Lance set to start the game. Cardinals likely feeling themselves coming off their defeat of the Rams. I think the Cardinals get upset.
Dang, now only one play Trey gonna beat him? Good luck with that.
plays.
Have a great weekend. Fox Bet Live is next. 7 points, doesn't it?